Hi there, my name is Dr Bobby Sura, consultant clinical psychologist and psychotherapist at Solihull Wellbeing Clinic here in the UK. Today is World Mental Health Day, 10th of October. I wanted to share some thoughts about how we can take better care of ourselves on these days and every day of the year. Self-compassion is something that is very important and has an extraordinary impact on our mental health. Most of the time, we tend to be very self-critical, self-doubting, self-judgmental. Maybe it's a product of the society and the conditioning that we've grown up in. And we feel a bit of a prisoner to these sorts of psychological dynamics. We are harsh with ourselves. We don't give ourselves the benefits of the moment. We tend to strive for perfection. We're not happy with what we've achieved. We're sensitive to how people talk to us, if they're accepting or rejecting of us. But self-compassion is at once something that people think about as self-indulgent, very sort of egocentric. So it has negative connotations. But actually being compassionate with ourselves is the very beginning of our ability to be kind and compassionate to others. So if we can't do these things for ourselves, it's going to be very difficult to do them for our partners, our children, our friends, our work colleagues. So actually it's not at all self-indulgent. It's very relational and very interpersonal. But our first relationship is with ourselves, right? So when we're in our own company, if we don't feel at ease, well, then we need to question the kind of friend we are being to ourselves. Compassion and self-compassion, the first pillar of it is being kind to ourselves. In other words, think about how we talk to ourselves. Would we talk to a good friend in that way? Would we talk to our children in that way if they were struggling? Think about the language that you use. Think about the words, the tone that you use with yourself. Often in your mental processes, in the way that you think, sometimes things you might even say out loud. And if you can change that direction, that approach, that way of talking to make it kinder upon yourself, that will be a very beautiful beginning. The second thing is to remember the idea of common humanity. Everybody goes through challenges. Everybody goes through difficulties. Nobody's immune to these things. And when we start to remember that, it's an obvious fact. I understand that totally. It's no revelation. We are one common humanity. Everybody goes through things. But what that reminds us really is that we're not alone. Other people suffer in this way. Other people struggle to be perfect. Everybody else is also suffering with these problems of stress and strain. And when we feel that we're not alone, it really helps because we don't have that same sense of isolation, and we don't have that same sense of questioning. Why me? Why is this happening to me? Because actually it can happen to everybody. And the third pillar of self-compassion is mindful acceptance. Mindfulness is being talked about a lot in the world today. It's associated with Buddhism, but being embraced by mental health services all over the world. And there's good reason for it. When we are mindful, we lean into what is, without judgment, without challenge, trying to look at things the way they are. And when we look at things the way they are, we can gain a certain acceptance and we can work with those situations. When we resist, when we run away from, when we try to reject circumstances, then actually we're not doing anything proactive or productive to change the situation we're in. So it might feel a bit strange that I'm talking about acceptance and change in the same breath. But actually, first of all, you need to recognize a situation, accept that it's there, and then think about what does this situation require from me? How can I work with it rather than work against it? Because as I often say to many of my clients, our feelings are really our friends. We run away from feelings, we talk about wanting to get rid of feelings or to manage feelings. And yes, we need to have some degree of self-regulation, emotional regulation. But our feelings are friends, whether it's sadness, whether it's anger, whether it's hurt, whether it's pain. They are giving us some signals and messages so that we can respond in a way that will be very helpful to us. So some of the things that you can do to be more self-compassionate, well, first of all, think about how you would treat another person, someone that you love, someone that you care for. How would you treat them in this situation? How would you talk to them? What would you say? Secondly, watch your language, the words that you use. Sometimes we can become very self-berating. We can use very negative, very toxic language to ourselves. Sometimes people say, oh, you're stupid, or you're good for nothing, or what an idiot, or I mean, these are probably quite gentle phrases. Sometimes if people are really unhappy with themselves, they may say much worse. Try to be kinder, try to say softer, more gentler things to yourself, because it's a bit of a myth that self-criticism and self-abnegation motivates us to improve. The other thing that you can do is comfort yourself with physical gestures. Sounds like a strange thing, but you know, sometimes just to give yourself a hug, close your eyes, breathe in for a few breaths and breathe out, and squeeze your arms. It can give you that sense of comfort. I know it's very strange, but until you try it, you won't know. Sometimes just to kind of massage your neck, or sometimes just to rub your hands together, you know, for 30 seconds to a minute, warm up those palms, and then just sort of gently put your palms over your face. Just press them onto your forehead, over your eyes. Again, it can be a very, very comforting feeling. Sometimes what I say to people is just to kind of hold your hands and give each palm a little squeeze and swap it over. And it can feel as though, even though you're on your own, that you are taking care of yourself, a little bit like someone that loves you takes hold of your hands. These are small things that you can do just to feel a little bit better. Another thing that you can do is memorize some self-compassionate phrases. This too shall pass. I'm having a bad day, but it will get better. I have tried my best. It might not be perfect, but I will work more on it tomorrow. Little ways in which we sort of try not to get caught up in this sense of failure, that we are not good. It's very important to have those sorts of phrases that you develop for yourself. The other thing is to meditate. Obviously, people are meditating all over the world, anchoring yourself in your breath, being mindful of your surroundings, looking at a tree, looking at things in nature, because these things have stood the test of time. Whether the storms come, it's windy, it's raining, it's difficult, the tree remains planted. In the same way, when we try to relate to aspects of nature that are beautiful and stoic, when we look at them and associate with them, we can remind ourselves that we can be that way too. And the last thing that I would say is do something that you love each day. Put your heart into something that you enjoy. Playing music, going for a run, watching your favorite comedy show, meeting somebody that you enjoy being with, ringing a friend or family member, reading a beautiful book, having a wonderful bath, lighting some candles, whatever it might be that helps you to feel good, that helps you to feel that you're enjoying this moment, it will help you. I have been looking online today, and there are some wonderful services available through Mind and the Samaritans. So if you can't afford private healthcare, you don't have private health insurance, I know it's not possible for everybody, but these links will help you. They're visible just on this side here. Take a look at them, take a note. There's always somebody there that can help and support you, even if you feel totally on your own. You're never on your own. Do make use of these resources. Have a look at our wellbeing articles and other wellbeing videos on the YouTube channel too. They're all free resources for you. Goodbye now.